real positives and gems of opportunity for the business in it. But I must say that as you describe this journey, I find myself in it somewhere because I recall having the privilege of hanging around the digital brainstorming session, looking at digitizing the business, and it was meant to be something that will be rolled out over a period of time. But some say that what COVID-19 ended up doing was becoming a catalyst for thoughts, ideas that were planned for a long while, like a period of the medium term, ideas that were being incubated to be accelerated. So those who were able to respond were those who had these ideas and were canvassing them already and were therefore able to make the transition. Would you agree to that?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the luck for us. For example, our enterprise app, we launched it last year, knowing that we're coming into 2020 full gusto. And so the moment we had to close our enterprise market, we now began to try to drive the traffic through our enterprise apps. The same with many other digital. Our employees, I mean, we had started talking about working from home. We call it at enterprise agile working before COVID. But like I said, we were not going to do it as urgently as now we find ourselves doing it. So for us, it's been a bit disruptive, but we are seeing great opportunities in it. We're seeing fantastic opportunities. We are in the business of mitigating risk at enterprise. That's our core call. And so when you are in trouble, we want to be there for you. So you can imagine that this has to be easily one of the most vulnerable moments in global history, where people are wondering about their health, wondering about their businesses, wondering about, whether they are going to hold on to their job. And in all these areas are opportunities for us to make a difference and to be the advantage that people seek.
You mentioned 3 areas of disruption: health, business, jobs. Give me a sense of, from the business point of view. You talk about providing an advantage, providing mitigation, risk mitigation. One of the areas I'm interested in is what, from the business point of view, would enterprise, for instance, be looking at in terms of health, business, jobs? What mitigation mechanisms?
We're trying to give you peace of mind first and foremost. We start from the individual. We think that if the individual unit is strong, then obviously the building blocks to a greater thing will be also strong. So we're talking of health. Are you properly covered? In our life business, we're able to offer you additional cover when it comes not only to health, but particularly to your life cover if things go poorly. We're talking about jobs. What if, because of this situation, you are out of a job? What do you do? Who's going to take care of what you used to take care of? So all these need specific products that speak to those vulnerabilities, and that's what we are in the business for.
16 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. If you just joined us, this is a conversation with Keli Gadzekpo, CEO of the Enterprise Group. We're talking about personal strategy, a year that began with great aspirations, great expectations, and we are assessing the year at midpoint. And Keli is saying that the year started with a 5-year plan in the pocket with great vim in the company, across the company, for executing a 5-year plan. And by the end of the first quarter of the first year, there needed to be a rapid transformation. So, Keli, you're saying that 75% of your staff work from home.
Yeah, we've had to provide them with the wherewithal, and by that I'm talking about laptops, talking about assessing their home environments to be sure that they are fit for purpose. Sometimes we actually have gone as far as intervening with Wi-Fi, making sure that the signals are strong and so on. But yeah, we have about 75% of our people who can work effectively from home.
In our hangout the last time, we're hanging out with our friends, Charles Karimbusumpra from Primate, Primate Consult, who made a very interesting statement. We were talking about the Twitter boss coming out to say, listen, office space is overrated. And he said that having gone through a period of having his staff work from home, he just thinks really we made too much noise about office space. And Charles Perry Busimpra agreed and said he had worked from home for 4 months and he actually hadn't missed the office. In fact, in his opinion, he had actually made savings from working from home. What would be your opinion on this interesting assertion?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, truth be told, we all sort of have heard, have maybe even experienced some level of working from home. I have friends who have been working from home for a while, but I never really had said to myself or was going to challenge myself to strictly work from home. If you gave me a clean sheet today, took away, let's say, our headquarters, our lofty, iconic building, the Advantage Place, and said, Kelly, here you have 500 employees or staff members. What is your plan for this great company? I don't think I would have the heart to say, let's build Advantage Place.
Wow.
Yeah, certainly not as an operational hub for enterprise. It would be it cannot be that the future should be about brick and mortar. It can't be. Look, so far, the meetings I have had, virtual meetings I have had, number one, you are able to do many more meetings. Number two, you're able to get more people, especially the hard to get people. You can now convince them because they know it's only going to be 30 minutes and everybody comes on time and everybody just gets on with it, you know. So I am getting better quality outcomes from my meetings than the old model. You get to the place, people are coming from all over the place, Bubuashi, wherever they're coming from. And then you spend the first 15, 20 minutes socializing, to saying, well, how was it, or did you, what did, you don't really spend that kind of time when you are in a virtual meeting. The guys come on and then you hit it, and so
the meetings are shorter.
Meetings are shorter, more effective. You get quality contributions, and I think there's also an element of people being in their comfort zone, speaking from their comfort zone, and speaking their minds more clearly than if they are reading body language in a boardroom or in a meeting room, where they might look up to see where the boss is going with this one, whether the boss is squeezing his face. You know, people speak their minds, and I can attest to the fact that I'm getting much better quality meetings.
So meeting office spaces are overrated.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no. I mean, those days are gone. The issue is, what do we do with what we have? If we didn't have an emotional tie to these office places, honestly, we would be, I don't know what we do. Do we sell them? Do we they are not as required. We now know they are not as required as in the past, what we thought.
One of the big points that has come up in the lead up to this, and I posted a question on Facebook a few minutes ago, about an hour ago, to find out from people, what will be your one big strategy for ensuring that you end the year 2020 in style, better than you began it? And I have different comments, different perspectives, but let me find out from you, Kelly. You are good at dropping tray. In the lead up to this, you mentioned before we came on air that in trying to find out the temperature, the thought patterns of people around you, you threw this question at them. Let me find out. First of all, what did your colleagues say were their strategies? Let's find out a few of the thoughts that about strategies for ending the year.
Yeah, I did throw it out. It wasn't only focused on the year as much as just life strategy.
Right.
I got some really good answers. My guys, like I said, are first-class people. So one of them says, I try to build and maintain a relationship with my team so that when I step hard on their toes, no offense will be taken.
Right.
That's someone's strategy for managing his team, right? You hear a lot about passion. I got about 2 comments on passion. If there's no passion, I don't even want to get started. I don't get out of bed without passion. So that doesn't surprise me at all.
Right.
And on and on. I mean, let me see.
Give me 2 more. So I'm writing them down because in the book of Matthew, Jesus Christ first asked the disciples, who do men say that I am?
Yes.
Before he asked, who do you say that I am? So before I ask you what your strategy is, let me find out what your colleagues.
So there was something on networking.
Right.
I establish and maintain a very strong network, so I know where to go when I need something.
Right. So first one, build relationship with your team. Second one is passion. Third one is networking. Give me one more.
Let's see. This man. There's one that reflects spirituality, anchoring yourself in God. That I related to very much.
Right.
If you anchor yourself strongly when the storms are upon you, you feel more secure.
Right. So what would be your own strategies, Keli?
I don't even know if I can even call them strategy, but I'll tell you, I have a few guiding things.
Right.
One of the things I noticed about myself is I'm instinctively half full as opposed to half empty person. So there's very few circumstances that I come across that throw me off or that make me start off from a deficit. Even the most dire circumstances, before I know it, I found a positive spin to it. And then I also find also that I really, and this is a bit controversial, but I hate being in denial. I'd rather be a liar than be a person in denial. I find that a liar has a choice whether to speak the truth or tell a lie, and therefore you have a choice. You're in control. You know when you're lying. But when you're in denial, you almost need a third party to pull you out of it. When you're in denial, it actually, for me, means that you can't help yourself. Somebody else has to help you. So for me, it's very key to me not to be. I prefer to see the thing clean. I like people to tell me the truth. I like also to tell myself the truth so that I don't end up deceiving myself.
Right.
And then I also lean quite heavily on the God factor. You know me well enough to know I'm not really the Bible thumping guy. I'm a struggling Christian in many ways. But I also know that we as humans don't control as much. And so you need to anchor yourself somewhere. And I've seen and I've experienced through life so many instances where I was rescued from some situation, so many instances where my little target was like multiplied by 100. So that just tells you that it's not you. Come on now. It's not you. So I like to put that in perspective. I like to know that I will always do my human best, but I leave the Almighty to do the rest, really.
You know what I love about this interview? I cast my mind back to my interview with you 5 years ago or so. I'll get the exact year from Matthew. Matthew is the statistician here. He'll tell me the exact day.
I was trying to remember that too. I couldn't remember.
But the beautiful thing is that you recall you're in South Africa when we called, and then you came in and we had the interview. Yeah. And I asked you the 3 things that govern your life. And Matthew just brought me a sheet of paper with the 3 things on it.
Oh dear.
So I'm going to compare what you said 5 years ago to what you said today. And listeners, this question will come in. This question will come in the exam. I'm telling you.
That's good.
If you want the laptop, please listen very carefully. This is one question you don't want to miss. It's the 28th of September 2014, according to Matthew. Okay. Matthew is a big man. Hey, oh man, Matthew. 28th September 2014, 6 years ago. Keli, what are the 3 principles of your life? And you said faith, truthfulness, and enjoyment.
There you go. Enjoyment.
So you just change the order. So the enjoyment is the optimistic and the positive side of you. The truthfulness is you hate being in denial, and the faith is the God factor.
Consistent.
So 6 years after you spoke, the same 3
consistent.
27 minutes past the hour, and that's the end of the interview. What else can we add? Faith, truthfulness, and enjoyment. These are the 3 pillars of Keli's life. We're having a conversation with Keli Gadzekpo, CEO of Enterprise Group. It's a relaxed day hanging out. This is our global convocation grand finale. Talking about a year that started with great promise, great expectation. And Keli is saying, listen, if there was somebody who had a plan, that was him and his company. And he's saying that by March, this whole thing experienced what he calls the biggest disruption in the past century across the world. But even in the face of these disruptions, he's been able to locate opportunity and inside the plan where opportunities that a company is seizing, and it's enabling them to do business in a great way. He's mentioned the percentage of staff that are working from home. Definitely, that's a point of interest. And you mentioned at the point 500 people. Is that how many people you employ?
Yeah, our full time is about 500, but we do have dedicated sales people and life planners, we call some of them. That moves us into the thousands, about 2,500.
Wow. Charlie, a significant chunk of the nation's GDP rests on your head. Do you sleep?
I sleep very well. I tell you, I sleep extremely well because I have a very strong team. I got there 6 or so years ago and met in place a first-class team. I think that my corporate team will rival any team anywhere. They are self-motivating. They are serious professionals. They know their stuff, and I really truly enjoy working with them. It's been a great journey. 6-year journey.
It's sometimes humbling when you see people managing very, very big organizations who can rest and say, well, I have a great team. I mean, it really, really, really is. And you guys make it sound so simple.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I when I got there, when I assessed what I had, I think the biggest challenge for me was to learn how to get out of the way so that they would do their stuff, i.e., don't get in the way of people who already they know what they're doing. If at all you can add, then add. But certainly don't get in the way. Don't So I try not to do that.
Right. For achieving consistency with your thoughts from the year 2014 and now, I'm finding you an amount of 1,000 Ghana cedis to add to the laptop which I'm giving out today. So, friends, in addition to the laptop, I have fined Mr. Gadzekpo 1,000 Ghana cedis, which I will add to the laptop as your giveaway.
For being consistent.
Yes, for being consistent. You pay.
I like that. I like that.
All right, so when I come back after the Game Changer segment, I'm giving out 1,000 cedis plus a brand new laptop to one person. Please, this one, it is your COVID moment of joy. Right here on Joy 99.7 FM, 25 years of broadcasting excellence. Charlie, it's a beautiful evening. Jojo, let's go to that beautiful game changer you have on compression, and let's find out how we can compress our thoughts and reach the world. Take it away, Jojo.
So imagine this. You see a fascinating video description, and then you click on it only to see a 30-minute runtime. So then you save it to the abyss of your bookmarks and you never open it again. Sound familiar? Well, you're in the same boat as Newt Noyen, an online content creator. Newt turned to cooking during a rough time in his life, but he found himself a little frustrated by YouTube's long tutorial videos. Today, our game changer is compression. So to share his growing passion for cooking, Newt decided to make bite-sized videos to connect with the younger audience. Now his first 3 videos, they did kind of okay, but the 4th one went viral overnight. Newt shared his version of the Popeye's chicken sandwich, which was really trending online at the time. Now the 2.5-minute video was hilarious and the food looked amazing. And I remember watching the video, laughing and following Newt. And it turns out I wasn't the only one. When Newt made the chicken sandwich video, he had 2,000 followers. But by the next day, he had over 50,000. And he hasn't looked back since. He actually shortened his videos further to a minute. And less than 6 months later, he had over 1 million followers. So how can we condense our content to reach a wider audience? Step 1. Make it relevant and topical. Step 2. Make it engaging. And step 3. Use it as a teaser for your main message. And 2 stats really struck me while I was researching this. And the first is that 71% of people watch more video than they did last year. And number 2, videos under 2 minutes get the most engagement online. So if you're struggling to connect with your audience, it may not be what you're saying, but how you're saying it. Try a short video today. This has been the Game Changer with Jojo Okran. Have a phenomenal week.
Wonderful, wonderful. Compression is the name of the game. Compress your thoughts and the world will hear them. And I've compressed Kelly's thoughts into 3 simple words consistent from the year 2014. and the year 2020. Thank you, Jojo Kran. Let me go for a brief commercial break. When I come back, guess what? I'm going to open the phone lines, and the questions that you answer are 3, and the prizes that you win are 4. First, you will win a brand new laptop, and then you would win 1,000 Ghana cedis cash. Hey, Charlie.
Freshly minted.
Freshly minted. Oh, Charlie, you remember who said you play the song? Joe said you play the song Enjoyment by Kidi. How is Joe doing that to you?
I told you, my guys are switched on.
You see they're not being fair to you. All right, Big J is a very big part of this vision here at the virtual university, and of course on the ratio. Okay, so brand new Dell Inspiron laptop for 8 gig RAM, Intel Core i5, 1 terabyte hard disk drive, backlight keyboard. You win a set of books from Comfort and I, and 1 year free subscription on the Graphic News Plus app, and then on top of that, 1,000 Ghana cedis freshly minted from Keli Gadzekpo. His punishment for being consistent in his values over the past 6 years, at least as far as we can count. Let's go for this break. When we come back, please, the phone lines will be open.
My people are killing me.
Will take care of me when I'm retired. I am a professional. I can work till 80.
Some people leave their retirement to chance. How are you planning yours? Your attitude today can help you avoid struggling to survive when you retire. With 50 Ghana cedis monthly investment in the Axis Pension Plan, you can accumulate 700,000 Ghana cedis in 30 years. This investment will guarantee you retirement income that far exceeds your current income. Visit www.axispension.com to sign up or call 0302-543-287 or 0544-321-966 for details. Axis Pension Trust, your reliable partner in pensions.
So everyone says I'm a Kosia filler, but it's not like I'm nosy or go out to find out the latest filler. It's just that I get 50 megabytes of data free after paying for only the first minute of every call. And so I just keep discovering stuff minute after minute. That's how come I was minding my business, scrolling through my timeline, and I found out Koko has a new baby. Oh, and lastly, I learned Ken won the lottery. You see, Ken is my brother's friend. So hello, look who's about to roll with the rich and famous.
Enjoy even more value with MTN Free After One. You only pay for the first minute of your call on MTN Free After One, and the rest is free. Plus, you enjoy free 50 megabytes worth of data to browse your favorite sites. Compare where, compare there. So dial *315# to sign up.
We day for you everywhere you go.
Terms and conditions apply. When you don't have the Enterprise Advantage app, you're not in control.
Boss.
Yes, Akwesi.
I'm at where they sell the coat. What size do you like?
What coat?
Coat, office coat.
I said get me a quote. Quotation from Enterprise.
Oh.
What? Save yourself from the stress. Take advantage of the Enterprise Advantage app. Make your claims, check statements, request for a quote, and buy a policy from any of our subsidiaries. What's more, you can also get health tips, traffic information, find mechanic shops, and more on your Enterprise Advantage app. Download the Enterprise Advantage app on Google Play and Apple Store now. Here is to 95 years of trust.
Enterprise, your advantage.
And Springboard is your virtual university. Before I open the phone lines, let me remind you that the long-awaited core program rolls out tomorrow across the country on various networks in all 16 regions. And look out for that 15-minute instruction mentorship, e-mentoring, e-counseling video. The topic for this week is discovering your talent. You will find it a very, very interesting, interactive engagement, and it also will come out with clinical psychologists and experts on standby as you watch the video, so that should you require assistance, you can get help, you can get guidance every step of the way. So tomorrow across the country and this whole week, the core program rolls out, and it's a collaboration between the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the Solidaridad and the MasterCard Foundation. It's a beautiful Sunday evening, and I get to hang out with one of my favorite people, Keli Gadzekpo, CEO of the Enterprise Group. He shared some very amazing thoughts with us, and the phone lines are open. The number to call 030-221-6541. Call into the show and let's talk. Let's find out how badly you want to win this laptop. And Comfort is more than ready. So if you are ready, I have a first caller on the line. Today it must be correct. All right, so let's see the first caller. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Your name and where are you calling from, please?
Nicholas from Dansoman.
Nicholas from Dansoman.
Yes.
Have you been trying this line since we started this?
Every Sunday. I keep
every
trying.
Sunday.
Every Sunday.
And what has been your experience?
I don't get to the number busy.
Number busy.
Today, by God's grace, I came to.
So today you're ready?
Yes, please.
Okay. You know what? No matter what, today make sure you take the laptop away. I'm giving out a laptop. I'm giving out 1,000 Ghana cedis. I'm giving out a set of books, and then I'm also giving out free subscription to the graphic news app. Comfort is ready with her questions, and the compulsory question must be the 3 values of Mr. Gadzekpo that traversed the year 2014 and 2020. So that one, you can't dodge that question. If not, you won't get the laptop. Are you ready for it?
Yes, I am.
In your body? In your body?
No.
In your soul?
Everything.
And your faith?
Everything.
Right. Comfort, take it away.
Well, how many full-time employees does Enterprise have?
500 employees.
And how many of these are currently working from home?
About 75 to 80%.
What?
About 75%.
What were Kelly's thoughts about virtual meetings?
Yeah, it says that with the virtual meetings, right? Meetings are being held. More people, the outcome is more because more people are able to attend. Since the period is small, the time limit is small. So those difficult people or individuals of top positions who are difficult to get in touch with now attend the meetings because it's just for about 30 minutes.
Yes, pouring the thing, Baba. I like that. So apart from that, you have the shorter meetings. You have the people who need to be there to help the decision, and then just add just one more.
Give us Kelly's 3 anchor values, and you look, Nicholas, you are very. Please don't break it. Nicholas, you are very close. Take your time. Take your time. He says he can give you the 2014 version and the 2020 version. Nicholas, take your time. All right, so you've given us 3 answers already. So the bonus answer, you just give us Kelly's 3 core values. But you tell us which version you are giving us. Whether it's the 2014.
I'm giving the 2014 version, 28 September.
Hey, you give us a date, 28 September.
Yes, please.
Okay, give us the 3 values.
Faith, truthfulness, and enjoyment.
Nicholas from Dansoman, you may have tried the last time, but I tell you something. We are happy to announce, by the grace of God, in the spirit of faith, and the spirit of truthfulness, and the spirit of enjoyment, that you are the winner.
Oh, thank you! I used to be a member of entrepreneurship. I attended when I was young. Oh, thank you so much.
All right, so Nicholas from Dansoman, you know what? As simple as that, courtesy of the Enterprise Group, this is the grand finale of the Springboard Roadshow digital version. And just for hanging out with us all these weeks and trying and missing, this is the final day. And Comfort, guess what? The guy answered 4 questions instead of 3. I'm sure if I giving him 10 questions, he'd have answered this. Nicholas, are you alone there?
Yes, please.
So how do you feel?
I'm very, very excited. I'm so glad. Reverend Alberto, God bless you so much for this initiative to have the convocation online in this COVID period. It's been very difficult combining academics and all, listening to these past weeks. I'm very grateful for giving me the opportunity to win this laptop, because already a laptop I'm using for my project is giving me challenges. So I think this is one of the Lord. I'm very, 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 very excited.
The enterprise is really about giving you an advantage. But tell me, I'm going to ask you to speak to Mr. Gadzekpo very shortly, because he's the one making this experience special for you. But let me find out from you, what are you doing now, career-wise or education-wise?
Yes, please. So I'm in the medical school, 5th year. 5th
year medical school?
Yes, please.
All right, so give us your full name so your colleagues in medical school can start clapping for you.
Nicholas Satraku.
Nicholas Satraku. Hold on and talk to Mr. Gadzekpo.
Okay, please. What am I supposed to tell Nicholas? The man is getting ready to, what, next year is when you finish the 6th year. Is it a 6th year?
Yes, please.
Congratulations, you've done very.
Thank you, Mr. Gadzekpo. God bless you so much.
Ask me one question that will throw me off.
Mr. Gadzekpo, for a car insurance, will you advise I go for a third party or a comprehensive?
Okay, that's an easy one. But I'll share with you what I do. If it's a brand new car, I would advise you go for comprehensive for at least the first, let's say, 3 years. Maybe even stretching it to 5 years, but at least the first 3 years. Just so that if anything really terrible happens, you get fully restored, and it's a brand new car, obviously. But if it's not, and you are doing third party, always keep an eye on the amount that you are going to sort of pay out to a third party that may be injured. It's very important. A lot of times, people don't pay attention to that, and so when there's a problem, there's a fixed amount that you will get from your insurance company. But that fixed amount may not cover a lot of the damage that or the claims that you may have to face. So comprehensive is if it's a brand new car, and keep it going for at least 3 years, maybe even up to 5. But if it's not brand new, pay attention if you're doing third party to the amount that you may have to pay out as liability.
Yes, please. Thank you very much, Mr.
Welcome, sir. And good luck and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
It is 15 minutes to the hour of 8 o'clock, and my guest for tonight is Keli Gadzekpo. Whenever Keli comes here, it's just so much fun in the studio. and understandably so, because we go back way. We've done so many things together. We've traveled the country together on the road show. We've done, I recall the last time you were on the road. Interestingly, I have a picture of yourself and His Lordship Yoni Kolende sitting in the gardens at the University of Cape Coast, surrounded by young people without social distancing.
those are the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. You were mentoring them, and they have surrounded you and giving you no breathing space. But isn't it such a beautiful thing to be able to impact the lives of young people, Keli?
Absolutely. It's a simple job. Fantastic.
Right. So Keli, let's go back to our conversation. We've been trying to look at the journey of the company and the journey of the individual. And so far, you're saying that, listen, even in the face of the disruption, you can locate or situate some opportunities. Let's broaden the context beyond enterprise and look at companies that did not have the fortune of a well-structured program of action. Some of them have been hit very badly. Many companies have had to either lay off their staff in huge numbers. Some call percentages that are more than half. And then also, some have had to significantly cut back on salaries just to keep their heads above water. What would be your comment on a situation like this? What are some of the ways around such a disruptive period?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for all of us would be to acknowledge the depth of the disruption enough to be willing to entirely throw out the rule book. You must be ready to throw out the rule book, because this has not been seen before.
Right.
And you can't be trying to operate business as usual when really it's not business as usual. I mean, I can't even imagine what people in the hospitality industry, what they're going through. Because as an individual, I have said to myself, I'm not sitting in the plane for the next X months, maybe even a year, who knows? I mean, I'm not comfortable. I've met enough people who don't even want to get out of their homes, much less go and stay in somebody else's hotel. They don't know if it's been fumigated. They don't. So I think people need to really realize that it's time to throw out the rule book and think fresh. There are certain businesses that will simply not survive. There are those businesses that will simply not survive. There are those businesses which will simply not be as profitable or as interesting. And people need to really do fundamental thinking, devoid of too much historical emotion.
Throw out the rule book, and that's what Keli Gadzekpo is saying. Charlie, for book Natuchen, and then rethink the whole model afresh. Let me give some big shout outs to my friends from Enterprise, because Charlie, they have waylaid the show. Let me greet Jackie Benji. She's monitoring every minute and she's giving us feedback on how we are accounting for every hour. Jackie, good evening. Thank you for being there. Ernestina, good evening to you as well, the managing director of Enterprise. Enterprise General Business. Let me greet Alex Bar Inkum.
Hey,
he says,
Alex.
that's our chief servant. Just say Enterprise and hear his response. So Kelly, Enterprise.
Your advantage.
All right. Alex, like you say it, you will respond. Jerry Kwame Hoda. So Jerry is a big guy. Hey, he gets this done. Jerry, God bless you. Jacob Mensah from Enterprise Group is also representing. Samuel Obri Kurang says the chief servant himself. What they call it, the chief servant? Eh?
Yes, I'm at their service. 24/7.
All right. So you said they were the ones doing the work, so you're giving them all the props. Let me greet Kaibo Timbila, and then Francisca Obeng Brobe, and then Jacob Mensah says this is Jacob Mensah is giving a shout out to Nicholas Saku. He said, "Charlie, the caller is great." The guy who won the 5th year medical student, the guy, Charlie should give him 10 questions. The guy would have gotten all.
Well, but you didn't realize that he said he was he had been to teenpreneurship before. So he's a teenpreneurship graduate. Right.
So Kelly, teenpreneurship is our teenagers program that we do as part of the Springboard offering. And after winning, the guy announced that he actually is a product of our teenpreneurship program. So
must feel good.
Yeah, it feels good to see. I mean, in a couple of years, he'll be at the front line battling health issues, and it's quite heartwarming. Yeah. Right. So let me greet a couple of people. Ben Asari says the chief servant is always on point, never a dull moment. Dream big with us. Let me greet Nafi Kwakupum, who's listening and saying this is fantastic. Let's switch to the individual, Kelly. So companies are saying that for those whose strategy aligns with the period, I presume that speed to market and responsiveness will be key. But for those whose businesses have been disrupted, they are saying take your model and rethink it all together.
Take it apart and rethink. Yeah.
Rethink it all together. Let's go to the individual. What do individuals do? Because we're rolling out a core program. The core program is a very huge collaboration we are having with MasterCard Foundation and Solidaridad West Africa. And that is a program that we're thinking about how do we respond to the disruptions of COVID, because people have drawn their plans, some have lost their jobs, some have lost their livelihood, some are just scared and just need an expert, a clinical psychologist to say, listen, this is not the end of the world. You may be lonely, you may be challenged, but you can do something. So we designed this program, and it coincided also with an initiative by the MasterCard Foundation that came out with a program across Africa to mitigate the effects of COVID. So we submitted and got accepted in a partnership to do this for the next 6 months. So we are starting this week with a 26-week program of education, mentoring, counseling, coaching people to just deal with the effects of COVID-19. It's mainly on radio, online, and then also counseling on phone and so on. But let's speak to the individual who feels like Charlie Ankoye. I mean, standing in the middle of the year, it's almost like everything is gone. What would you say?
Yeah, I think obviously trauma. Important thing is somehow to not let either the lack of quality information or the fear of the unknown cripple you. It worries me that there are people who are disconnecting themselves from living life. I think it's better that you understand the boundaries and you listen carefully, especially to the experts. At the end of the day, what I'm finding is this COVID thing. It's not about big pharmaceutical. It's not about some medicine that people can't afford. What are we talking about? We're talking about easily the most basic things that we should have been doing already. We are being reminded to do it. That's not to downplay the seriousness of the matter, but it's ironic that such a debilitating outcome is easily solved by washing your hand, wearing a face mask, being hygienic, standing 6 feet away. After all, most of us did not realize how much stuff, what do they call that thing that floats in the air after we speak? Most of us didn't know that was
the droplets.
Yeah, those droplets hang around for minutes or whatever. So I think that the first thing to do is to abide by those things
protocols
critically, even to almost to a fault.
Right.
It's better to be anal about those things, and then you begin to see that things will at least fall in place in terms of your exposure to the virus.
Right. I recommend the message by Pastor Table this morning to everyone who's listening, and I tell you something. It's just heartwarming. He says this is Africa's season. He says it is raining, and he said something very beautiful. He says the lightning and the thunder may strike just before the rain falls down and the plants grow. Don't let the lightning kill you before you can eat the fruit. That means protect yourself now, because we are just about to enter a great season of harvest. I've never heard anyone break it down like that. That was just super by Pastor Table this morning. Get that message. It's raining, and you will find your life at a very high point. Comfort, your closing thoughts before I come to Keli for his closing thoughts, and I just give you some places where you can find the core message in the various regions. Comfort, your closing thoughts.
Well, I had wanted to talk a little bit about how relevant Keli's discussion with us today is in terms of we rolling out core. If we look at how we have done our Springboard program over the years in person, and now we have to roll out the same program, but this time not in person, but to roll it out digitally. And we are hoping to reach 600,000 people based on what we want to do. Then I see that if we had used our old business model, whereby we think of putting people in a room together, we wouldn't have been able to even think.
Global congregation was going to gather 3,000 people at the Grand Arena. We thought it was such a huge thing. We were so proud of ourselves. 3,000, and it was just 4 days to go. But here we are. We've reached so much more over a 3-month period, and that's really about it.
It's about it. So the conversation about throwing out the rule book and now looking at how you can deliver your products and services online is really key for me. And we must all be willing to say, okay, even though it's not my usual way of operating, how can I get this done digitally?
Right. Let me bring some shout-outs. All the way from Sinyani, the general manager of Usebet, Robert Mensah, says, I had a rare opportunity of meeting Keli one-on-one in his office somewhere in 2012, and I asked him, what would it take to join Databank at the middle level and become CEO? And his response was simple: relevance. And that has guided me in my career alignment since then, and I'm eternally grateful. Robert is winning awards today and rising very high in his career, and he says one word from you: relevance. Let me add that to your three: faith, truthfulness, enjoyment, and relevance. All right, Keli, your closing thoughts.
Well, I think in this season, I'd like people to not make fear hold them back. I think I myself, I find that I tend to embrace fear. If I'm going to do something and I sense there's fear in it, I don't let it stop me, but I let it warn me, and it makes me a bit more meticulous. People just need to embrace fear almost as a positive. Use it as a tool. Use it to turn the tide in your favor. Remember, you can never make an omelette without cracking the egg.
Definitely.
All right, you can never make an omelette without cracking the egg. Good evening to Phyllis Woodnati. There's only one Phyllis. The whole world.
I'm in trouble.
Oh, Phyllis is powerful. Good evening to you, Phyllis Woodnati. Thank you for everything that you do and for the hard work behind the scenes. Chonam Clarence Akpelu, you are listening, you are seeing, Charlie, your uncle is firing. Charlie, good evening to you too. It's been a beautiful time with you, Kelly, and let me just say before you go that you must promise to do this again. Let's come again and let's have a conversation again.
It's always a pleasure. I would love to come back again, and thank you for having me.
Let's do this again and let's have another conversation. All right, so guys and ladies, this is it for the show. Let me, Nicholas Sasiraku, want to talk to you right in the next 2 minutes and tell you much more about your prize, how to get all the things that we have promised. But it's all coming to you within the next 24 hours. Your laptop, your cash, your books, and your subscription is all coming to you in the next 24 hours. So talk to us on the Springboard hotline 024-9999-555 in the next couple of minutes, and we'll be happy to show you what to do about getting your prize. Let me just remind us all that on the core Facebook page you get a full rollout of where and which regions we are rolling out the core program and which stations we have them at. So like the core program Facebook page, it's just core program. Look for it because there's some amazing opportunities there. Let me say a big thank you to Comfort, who's driving this program from the front. Let me say thank you to Jojo for the game changer segment, and thank you to my guests for everything that we've had today. All right, so my name is Albert Okran, and on behalf of Team Springboard, I want to say a big thank you. Just one big announcement to close, courtesy of our partners MTN. The core.com.gh website has been 0 rated. This official announcement will come out tomorrow, but it means that you visit that website and you can get educational material, and it will benefit you all week through without having to drop a dime of data. Thank you to MTN for supporting the core program and for making it possible for the young people of Ghana, 700,000 almost in all, to be able to access material without paying a dime in data. We celebrate MTN and we celebrate the entire team. And good evening, Salam Adaribo, CEO of MTN, for leading the team and making that possible. Good night.